Welcome to the red half of Sheffield. Yes, that's done and dusted with the final international break. Back at it Friday night under the lights against probably the hottest team since the calendar year has started in Coventry City. And from the Sky Blue Fans TV, I am joined by Jack. Jack, how are you doing on this Sunday?
Yeah, all good, all good. How are you?
Oh, not bad, not bad. Here to preview another one, and why don't we get right into it? So as I mentioned, sum up for the listeners Coventry's two halves to this season.
Yeah, it's been a weird one. Obviously, we had Mark Robbins, who was with us for 7.5 years, relieved of his duties after a very underwhelming start. I think before the season started, we were tipped to be about where we are now, and if not higher. And had we had a better start, we would be higher, and we would be maybe knocking on your guys' doors for automatics as well. And I didn't want Mark Robbins to go at the time, but it was clearly the right decision. Retrospectively looking at it, we had a bit of a transition period between the 7th of November when he was sacked and the turn of the calendar year, pretty much, where you could see improvements, you could see Lampard's style of play, and you could see where we wanted to be, and we weren't quite there. And then we were 1-0 up against Norwich, first game of this calendar year. They scored 2 goals in extra time, added time. We lost that game, and since then we've just been on this unbelievable run. We've only lost 3 games, all competitions, and that was to Ipswich, Leeds, and Derby, who are on a good run now. And we find ourselves sitting 5th, quite happy, like you say, one of the most informed teams in the league country even. So we're very hopeful and we're very positive, but it will be a tricky game for us on Friday night under the lights, like you say.
Yeah, it's I think if you look at the form table, I think Cov and Sheff United are on the same amount of points since like the calendar year, which is weird. Because it seems like it's been an up and down roller coaster for United here over the past month. So as you mentioned, the aforementioned Mark Robbins departure, as Cov were down near the bottom, which to me my head was almost gone because it's just like this team should be up near the top of the table. Then they bring in Frank Lampard. Were you surprised that Cov have turned it around this quick under Lampard, who has been in his managerial career kind of questioned? Because, obviously he had Chelsea loanees at Derby to help them get to the playoff final. They inevitably lost, and then he didn't really do anything with that Derby side after that, and then leaving them and going to Chelsea and having a terrible time there. Has he changed, and did this take you by surprise?
It did, but when you look at like our last 11, 12 months and look at how many things have changed behind the scenes at our club, actually, it was definitely the right thing to do. And we definitely have a group of players good enough that we could have made the playoffs last year. We fell away because of that FA Cup run we had. We could and should have beat Man United in that FA Cup semi-final. Mm-hmm. That's what ultimately cost us the playoffs was that long run. So that's when we started to lose a couple of coaches. So we lost one of our main coaches after the FA Cup quarter-final against Wolverhampton. We lost our assistant manager in the summer. No one knew why at the time. Mark Robbins brought in 2 additional coaches at that point who were going to help us. And it just didn't work. The team that Mark had constructed for us over the years he was with us had just disintegrated. And unfortunately, he wasn't the genius that could do it on his own. He built a team that was perfect for us. And without that team, he just couldn't do it anymore. So the change had to be made. It was made. Frank has brought in 2 very well-renowned coaches. The names escape me right now, but yeah, he's built a team again that he's been with before, been with at Chelsea, been with at Derby. We know he's got the pull. We know he's got connections with Chelsea, not that we've used them yet. We may in the summer when we've got more budget available. Obviously, he came in on the 28th of November, so we didn't really have much chance for the January transfer window to maybe use that Chelsea connection. We'll see where that goes. I'm surprised at how quickly it's turned around, like you say. Absolutely. We never, ever thought that sat here right now, we would have won 10 out of our last 12 games.
Yeah.
That is outrageous for even like a Leeds fan or yourselves who are at the top. 10 out of 12 is still a fantastic achievement.
Yeah.
And the fact that we've done that from being in the bottom half to get to fifth and beating good teams like Sunderland 3-0, for example, the biggest defeat of their season, it is a shock, but how we've slowly been progressing, we knew that we would get better. We didn't think we would be fifth right now.
Yeah. No, you're certainly, going back to the start of the season, I had you pegged for playoffs, then the slow start, and now it's like, okay, you're kind of coming good on your end. So right now, with 8 games left, you think, there's going to be no messing about. Coventry will probably be in the playoffs come May. Your thoughts. Well, it's a two-parted question. Do you think they will make the playoffs? And then do you think Cov have enough to get over the line to get to the Premier League? Or do you think this is, in your mind, get us to the playoffs, know we can get to the, if we face defeat, that's okay, reload in the summer and then go for automatic promotion next year or even a repeat, try to get back to the Premier League?
Yeah, I mean, the position we're sat in, we are favourable, obviously. We're fifth and we're a couple of points clear of sixth, seventh and further of eighth. I think we will make the playoffs. That is my personal opinion. It will not be easy. I'm not saying we'll walk it at all. We would never have thought this in January at all. So it's outrageous from a Coventry point of view that we can say we think we'll make the playoffs. We play West Brom, who are sixth. West Brom play Bristol, sixth and seventh. I think Middlesbrough have got a couple of tough games, possibly against you guys. I think they play Leeds as well. So looking at the run-ins, we think we'll do it as well. Do I think we'll go up? No, I don't think we'll go up. I think it will. We all want to go up, but I think it would be a season too early. If we come fifth, we get Sunderland in the playoff semi-finals. I think we will beat them over 2 legs. We haven't lost to them in 12 plus fixtures. And that's a lot of recent games as well. So I think we'll beat them. But then the likelihood is we'll come against either yourselves or Burnley in a playoff final. And I think both of you are too good and would beat us at Wembley. We've obviously had 2 Wembley losses in the last 2 years, both on penalties, both heartbreaking. Maybe that experience will help us. And we've got a lot of players that have played in last year's one specifically still around. But I think the 2 clubs like yourselves or Burnley, whoever miss out automatically, would do the job on us at Wembley. And then, like you say, we've got a full pre-season with Frank Lampard. We've had 8 months at that point with him and his coaching staff and his recruitment team looking at how we can improve our squad. And we go again, but this time without the poor start that we've had 3 years in a row. If we can kickstart this next season in a similar vein of form to where we've been recently, we'll quite easily be a playoff contending team minimum next season, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So for the reason we are all both here, Friday night under the lights, Bramall Lane, place will be packed, rocking, everybody itching for some league football back. How do you think it's going to go, Jack?
I mean, it could be feisty. It obviously kicked off a little bit on the pitch last time when you guys came to us, when we were managerless as well. That was the shocking thing. We managed to get a draw against you, although you with 10 men, you could argue we should have gone on to win that game. But again, managerless, in a poor run of form, a draw was a good result for us at the beginning of the game. We'd be looking for a draw at least again this coming week. I think, unfortunately, the international break might slow us down a little bit. We've got 4 or 5 players away. They're not necessarily the starting players, but our goalkeeper's gone away to Sweden. You don't know how players react when they come back from international duty, especially they could have played 2 lots of 90 minutes. They could have played nothing and just feel a bit jet lagged, for example. Again, we're coming for at least a draw, but we will try and take the game to you. Hopefully come away with 3 points, but I would predict a draw, maybe 1-1, 2-2.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be the old cliche, the advert for the championship. I just hope it we're not both wrong, and it's a dull 0-0, and we just pass it about for 90 minutes. But I mean, all signs right now point to this match being probably a 0-0 or a draw of some sort, whether it be 1-1, 0-0, as you mentioned, 2-2. I'm just curious to see, because of Sheffield United's run-in, Coventry and Burnley are the two big games left on their fixture list from probably almost getting you over the line to automatic promotion. Now, we've had some time. Yes, we've had some international players go out, on duty. Much similar to yourself, some of them played, some of them haven't. Coming back, is there enough in this team? And this is where I'm going to go with my heart over my head, and that's weird because I never do this. And I think Sheffield United are going to have enough to get it over the line, and it could be like a 98th minute winner or something like that, just something crazy. But I just think this team is so focused on getting back to where Sheffield United really, the team wants to be. I don't want to be in the Premier League. But it certainly sets up for an interesting, now we're in the business end of the season, 8 games left. But yeah, it should be interesting under the lights Friday night, Bramall Lane, on every single television in the world. Will probably be watching it. Jack, before we get out of here, I ask every opposing view that comes on, your match day go-to beverage.
Oh, I'm definitely a beer guy. I like a few pints of beer before a game. We try and go to a pub. We've got a group of us. We try and go to a pub before a game. Not too likely on a Friday night with the traffic from Coventry. We might meet before we get on the bus for a couple of beers, but we'll take some beers on the coach. We'll have a good time, and I'll definitely be wanting a pint in Bramall Lane for sure.
There you go. He's exactly like me. All right, before we get out of here, Jack, give us where the people can follow the Sky Blue Fans TV.
Yeah, so Sky Blue Fans TV, we've got a channel on YouTube. You can find us on Spotify as well, where we obviously it's just audio, there's no video, but we stream every Thursday and every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. It's just called Sky Blue Fans TV. So if you're interested in what we talk about, go follow us. We've got a show tonight. We've got a show on Thursday where we've got a Sheffield United fan coming on as well. So hopefully we can get some good insight from our channel, from your guys' point of view as well.
Cool deal. Definitely give it a look. If you guys haven't done so yet, right after Sheffield, Twitter, X, Instagram, Facebook, this will be on YouTube. Give us a follow on all of that. And until I'm back to do another preview next weekend, I will leave you with Up the Blades.